What is going on, my GBL players? Back with another video that's slated to be the greatest units that you ever seen. Fukuoka M.O.G.U.E.R.A taking over everything. Let me stop rapping. I'm out of rapper though. It's like, nah, I am low key, but hey, what's going on, everybody? 99 Orga here. I got some gameplay of the new units, Fukuoka, Spacegodzilla, and M.O.G.U.E.R.A. But before I get into any of that stuff, I have two things to address. One, did you like that intro?
Your trust,
Not the rap. I wasn't talking about that. I know you didn't like that. I'm talking about the Spacegodzilla intro. My first time doing any type of like editing like that. It was pretty fun to do, I'm not gonna lie, but I gotta get better at it. But let me know if you enjoyed that. It was pretty fun to create. And yeah, I mean, shit. Weenie, please help me. And also, gotta thank everybody for 100 subscribers. You heard it right here, folks. 100 subscribers already. That's a blessing right there. I mean, I'll be honest with you, when I started this year and I knew Orga was coming out, I knew I was going to make content, but I didn't expect it to be this like appealing to people. And it's awesome that I'm growing this quickly. You know, it definitely does help that I had YouTube experience in the past, because I kind of done commentaries before, even though it's been 10 years, and I've kind of done editing before, even though it's been 10 years. But it's just been awesome to come back and make Godzilla Battleline content. I'm a big Godzilla fan, big Godzilla nerd. So this is it. And let's get into the actual meat of potatoes of the video. We were talking about the new Spacegodzilla, Fukuoka, or the Fukuoka, and the M.O.G.U.E.R.A. So from the 1994 movie. I don't know why M.O.G.U.E.R.A is this good in the game. We'll get on to that later in the video, but in the movie he was ass. Like, M.O.G.U.E.R.A literally got bodied in the movie from what I remember. Maybe I need to refresh myself, but I don't know. Last time I checked, M.O.G.U.E.R.A sucked. But let me start off with Fukuoka Spacegodzilla, because that is the monster you do get first. You don't get M.O.G.U.E.R.A for another couple of days if you don't get lucky or something, but this is how you pay to win. You know, you gotta pay to win in this game to be good. I'm just joking, you don't need to do that. Just save your G-stones, get lucky. It is definitely luck based getting M.O.G.U.E.R.A right now. I got very lucky getting M.O.G.U.E.R.A in the 4500 G-stone map, but if you wait a couple days you'll get him for free, no problem. And I'm pretty sure you'll get him in the battle pass at tier 50, but that's like way down the road, so you don't got time for that. But Fukuoka Spacegodzilla, I love Fukuoka Spacegodzilla. In this video, he is very, very clutch with his defense. He's very, very clutch with his crystals. So let's talk about it. So he's a long-range unit, and his crystals, as you guys can see, just goes right across the map. Doesn't stop, doesn't hit a building, just goes right for the unit or whatever hell is in its way. Whether that's a crystal, whether that's the Shinden, whether that's -1 coming out of the water right there. It literally just goes right towards anything, and it distracts them. So they have to stop what they're doing if they hit flying, and they have to hit the crystal before it, you know, hits them, right? And a lot of the times it's going to hit them, so it's going to do a little bit of damage, nothing crazy, but it still, again, it still hinders the push for them. Now, it is stun resistant, these crystals, but again, Kumo and Naranga, whatever, they're going to take it out regardless, because their stun doesn't attack as well. So I guess that's more like for like Gigan 04 who can't even hit the flying. So if you have like MG21 leader and then you try to grapple onto it, it's not going to do anything. So I guess that's like the best example I can think of that wouldn't kill it in one hit, because Gigan's ability doesn't do any damage, it's grappling. But anyway, what are the chances of that? No one even uses MG21. Also, Spacegodzilla does chain lightning, so it's kind of like an AoE type of thing. So if there's like a unit, you got it right in front of you, it's gonna hit that one, the one behind it, the one behind that. But it does in a weird fashion, so it'll do more damage in the first hit, and then the units behind it will do slightly less. That's okay, I guess. I mean, that's nothing crazy. I guess it's a good gimmick, but I don't know why I just can't do the same amount of damage. Now we're playing against no one, the best Shin Godzilla player in my opinion in the world. But it's cool. I mean, again, if you're doing damage, you're doing damage, and if you could do it in AoE, that's better than what the regular Spacegodzilla does. The regular Spacegodzilla doesn't even do AoE, so right now I'm using him as a leader. Great defensive unit though. I mean, look, He's tanky, he's slow. You can really build a push around this guy, and he can be distracting units. My favorite thing to do with it is it literally counters the Shinden. Remember, the Shinden only has 2 free hits. It only can take 2 hits of damage essentially for free, just like Jet Jaguar before its shield goes down. Alright, well that's exactly what this thing does. It's 2 crystals, and if it's bop bop, there goes the thing. Shinden is very vulnerable now. And it counters his Leos and -1. Think about it. -1's placed in the water, the crystal flies over, and bang, there you go. It's out of the water now. So, that's actually low-key a great thing because -1 and the Shinden is really, really annoying in the midfield. So if you can have the crystals come by and already get -1 out of the water, -1 minus the water is not that effective. Now let's talk about the man of the hour, or the robot of the hour, M.O.G.U.E.R.A. 4 cost. This thing is a menace for 4 cost. Why is it 4 cost? I don't know, but it just is. It might get bumped up to 5. I can see it happening. I don't want it to be bumped up to 5. I want the people to be able to abuse it and use it, but eventually it probably will get a cost increase because it is insane. So when you spawn M.O.G.U.E.R.A, it starts off as a flying unit, not like Ultraman, so it's like reverse Ultraman. So it starts off as a flying unit, and then it flies for about halfway across the map, then goes on land. But while it does that, you're getting a long-range unit, 1, and 2, the best gimmick about it, the Ben Wallace defensive stats, you're getting defense up on your squad for 7 seconds. And then there's a 10-second cooldown, then you're getting it again for 7 seconds. This only works on 6 cost or less units. That's why my deck here is very cheap, and I'm able to just keep throwing units out because no matter what, I'm always going to have something cheap in my deck. No 9 cost, no 8 cost, no 7 cost, because there's really no point in using that if I have M.O.G.U.E.R.A on the field. Now, there is a workaround for that, and I'll tell you right now, but again, before I get into that, look at my team. Very cheap, very cost efficient, and a lot of DPS, and a lot of good damage, a lot of good defense. This really helps out against these players who have all level 30s. I'm playing against a lot of people with level 30s, so I don't have a level 30 on my team except my leader, so this definitely helped me win these games. And they did keep them close because they're great players nonetheless, but defense wins championships. If you were to pair M.O.G.U.E.R.A as a unit, he is a great leader. I'm not going to get into that. That'll be a separate video, but right now we're talking these units only. If you were to pair Mechagodzilla 74 leader and you wanted to use Earth, or you wanted to use Destroyer, or you wanted to use Godzilla 04 or the King Ghidorahs of the world, you could essentially run that as leader, have those units, have a little bit of more cost efficient units, more cheap units with M.O.G.U.E.R.A, and you can have your whole team enjoy the defense boost. Use MG74 lead, throw down M.O.G.U.E.R.A, and you're basically going to be the 04 Pistons all over again. You're going to be great, you're going to be fine, and who's going to come at you? I mean, it's going to be really hard. The defense up in this game is one of the best stats. I personally think it's better than damage up because I've been playing against a lot of players who had... I played against this one guy, actually, who was using a Mothra leader. He's using like Earth, and he's using Gigan 04, and he was using -1 and all this, and then he had Bio, which gets the damage boost in water. He had Spacegodzilla, which gives off the crystals, and he had Batra, right? So we're talking damage boost. It doesn't even matter that those like kind of like if you throw down Biollante and then you throw down Spacegodzilla, Biollante's water boost goes away and then Spacegodzilla takes over. But it doesn't really matter that much when you're talking like, okay, we're getting a damage boost, right? So it's still a damage boost nonetheless. And I literally won the game still because of my defense up. It was this exact deck here, actually. We're playing against Star Melee now. And if you look, I put Batra in for 2 games and I put Jet Jaguar in for 2 games because I wanted a damage boost. But isn't that crazy though? Defense more than offense? It's literally basketball all over again. It's crazy. Melee here, great player. I mean, Star Melee is one of the best players that we have in this game. And this is the exact deck, I believe this is the exact deck he was using on stream, maybe different leader, but he was using Mothra and Leo, and obviously the new Spacegodzilla, obviously the new M.O.G.U.E.R.A on stream, and he was kicking ass. But I had to show him what's up. And I just think this deck right here works very well. I think this season, Earth is kind of... he's not necessary to use anymore. I used to think that Earth was very essential to winning a lot of games, and he still is. You could still run a really good deck around Earth and win a lot of games. But it's not necessary anymore. You don't really need it. I feel like if you have a cheap deck and you have good levels on that cheap deck and you use M.O.G.U.E.R.A and you use Spacegodzilla, you can literally win a lot of games. My Spacegodzilla is level 29, 35 rented. Almost level 30 actually, which is awesome. Hopefully get that last piece. But the stats are like, you got Spacegodzilla that has slightly better stats than Fukuoka. And my Fukuoka was rented at level 17. So these new units, I love doing the boost right there, by the way, with M.O.G.U.E.R.A and Batra, a GMK at the bottom. But with the new units, the new alternate units, you don't even like need to go crazy with investing a lot of GMATs into these things, because they will be cracked out very, very soon, right? My level 7 G54 alt, I think, has almost 4,000 HP already. I think it's at like 3,900. My level 28 GMK with this, studio boost is just over 4,000 health. So it's pretty wild. I would recommend people invest in Spacegodzilla, but also don't forget about that Kiryu. That Kiryu last season is the ultimate counter to this Spacegodzilla. It is the ultimate counter to the Shinden. And look at that, there's the Shinden right there. It would be kind of crazy though if the Kiryu all kind of did more damage to units that were 6 cost or less too, because then like the M.O.G.U.E.R.A thing would kind of be like, why'd you add that? But obviously it makes sense. That's why MG74 Elite is very important. They're trying to make these expensive units for some reason not as usable. I don't know why they're doing that. I would say though, Ghidorah is definitely good this season because of the piercing. So I would definitely watch out for Ghidorah users. If you see Ghidorah in the All-Star Battle Shop, pick it up, because it is definitely essential for dealing with Shindens, dealing with the Spacegodzilla crystals. You don't really need that boost from M.O.G.U.E.R.A with Ghidorah. Ghidorah is a pretty tanky unit, but with Earth, you definitely want a defense up with Earth. So I'd recommend the 74, because already Earth is clunky with the Shinden running around. Now with the crystals, it's kind of like 5 seconds of this, 5 seconds of that. So it does kind of suck. I think this was a pretty good DT here. Leo is not as good right now, and there's his -1. I think he meant to place that in the water for sure. That could have changed a lot of the game, but yeah, he didn't do it. So put Batra down, put M.O.G.U.E.R.A down, and Batra and M.O.G.U.E.R.A together. I mean, that's just a sick combination. And Gigan 04 coming up, and there goes M.O.G.U.E.R.A winning the game for me. So GG, Sir Melee. And that was a great battle. That was a great battle. Last match of the video is against the guy with a line in between his O. You already know, M.O.G.U.E.R.A Batra, get those things up as soon as possible. I think I'd rather evolve Batra than M.O.G.U.E.R.A. I don't know why, but I feel like every time I try to evolve M.O.G.U.E.R.A, there's always that one game where I just can't get M.O.G.U.E.R.A up. It's just like, but I can always get Batra up. So I just find that interesting. But there's like those games where like, what the thing is, I don't know why I panic, because a lot of the time when these people try to destroy my M.O.G.U.E.R.A, they're throwing like a DT with the Kiryu or something. So like you're essentially spending 10 energy just to kill my 2 energy. So that's actually pretty funny to think about. That's how dangerous the 3 cost is. But I got my units up already, so it's only 2 minutes into the fight, or 2 minutes left into the fight, and he has a great push, don't get me wrong. He has M.O.G.U.E.R.A. No, he doesn't have M.O.G.U.E.R.A. He has 4th Angel. He has Leo, Destroy, and M.O.G.U.E.R.A, but I mean, I got defense up right now. I was able to take that out no problem, and now they all get a damage boost, and then about in a couple seconds, so 10-second cooldown, and then I'll have a defense up for about 7 seconds. So that always works out. Just waiting for that to show up. I DT here just to get them grouped together for my GMK. There's my defense up, which honestly probably kept my Batra alive right there from that headbutt from Leo. So literally ate that shit and stopped his Destroyer again from evolving. So that's a plus. There's a lot of plus to this deck. I'm trying to figure it out still. It's only been a couple days into the season. I'm trying to figure out what the best deck is. But I won that game, by the way, what I was talking about before with the guy using all that damage boost. I won that with Kamaka's Swarm for that Batcher slot because I was going for those Megalon fragments. So it's kind of crazy that you could win this game with just GMK, Gigan 04, M.O.G.U.E.R.A, Spacegodzilla, and Mothra. It's wild. And I recommend definitely getting into using these units. It is a blast. The battlefield is a discombobulated mess nowadays, especially if they're running it as well. It's just so much stuff going on. You got -1 exploding, got 4th Angel coming back, all these units. It's just like, what is going on? Sometimes you're just like, all right, I gotta focus on this part of the battlefield, then I gotta focus on this part of the battlefield. It's interesting, but it's also what I've noticed is that I can just play insane defense and not feel like I'm strained for energy. So like energy refueling base, for example, not really seeing the use for that. I know he's using it right now, but I don't know. I just don't feel like it's necessary unless you're running a high-cost deck. If you're running a low-cost deck like I am, I think it's like a 4.6 deck. Energy refueling base, yeah, it'll give you energy quicker, but you can like throw in like a Megalon or something and have like, or DT if you're not using that, and you could just have a really good cheap deck that's going to give you more power. And as you can see here, I'm actually about to win this game. Look, is this cheap? I don't know. I'm about to DT him, but you tell me. I mean, he had a great push. He kind of took me by surprise right here with his Mothra being, high level that it is, and then 4th Angel coming down. So I'm going to try to cycle out, put the Gigan 04 down, and then I'm going to DT. So that's basically the end of the video right there, guys. Fuck it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for 100 subscribers. I'll see you all later. One love. Peace out.